One of the reasons I want to jump on today is here and there, I've dropped a few things saying I was going to maybe do something in regard to teaching a probate listings class. And I had to cancel a couple times due to a family personal issue. And so here we are at the middle of August, and I did set up a new time, August 3rd, to do a training. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it because it is something that I have done since 2013. Little backstory is I was a first-time homebuyer specialist during the market when it was rising, and then the market crashed, and a lot of things crashed. And I got to a point where I just simply didn't have the energy, and I didn't have the wherewithal to want to go out with buyers. And luckily, I ended up listing a probate property, and I decided to do a real deep dive and learn how to list probate properties, not just here or there, but as part of my business. I'm a firm believer in niches. My background is in consumer health products and pharmaceutical sales, niche, right? Women's healthcare in particular. And so I really wanted to put something together, for agents who are new, burnt out, maybe midlife like me, who really want to specialize in something that's sustainable no matter what is going on. As you know, unfortunately, people pass away during the best of times and during the worst of times, during a recession, um, right now, during this pandemic that we are going through. And so that does not mean that the sale of a probate property stops. So I wanted to come on and share a little bit about my experience, why I am such a proponent of a niche, especially this one, and share my story with you guys because I feel like it was a game changer for me. So one of the things that I'm a firm believer into is working smarter, not harder. Um, when I was trying to learn how to do probate so many years ago, one of the things that was going on is I had a daughter in high school, I had a daughter in college, and other things happening. And I had a personal health issue, so I was really quite tired, and I was anemic, and I could not go out and show property. It was just too exhausting for me. And that's one of the reasons that I looked at, learning more about this particular niche. I feel that um, with the era that we're in, anyways, not really door knocking, holding open houses is kind of, here nor there, depending on where you are. I've never been a fan of the open house. I've put that out there a million times. I know it works for a lot of people. It's just not something I enjoy doing, which goes back to, virtual open houses and things like that. Um, but I wanted to share some of the things that I learned and why you might want to consider taking this training that I put together. And when I tell you, it's amazing for a few reasons. One, it's an untapped niche. As someone who interviewed me about 3 years ago said, well, it's not a sexy niche. And I said, no, but who cares? I really like helping people. And if you feel that is part of your real estate business, which is really helping people at a difficult time, this is a good niche for you. And there's a number of reasons why, and I'll also get back to a second listing niche at the end of this video that I also do that you can do side by side, which is fantastic. I feel that um, there's this fallacy that if you niche down, you're not going to do any other business. That is not the case. I'm in South Florida, so I do relocation. So I do get some buyers. I just don't look for the buyers. They find me and I work with them if it's a win-win. So you can still do some general real estate, but your mainstream of income would come from a niche that is kind of, like I said, an untapped niche that other agents don't really look at doing. The goal is to really attract clients to you who need your help versus you paying for leads. Let's face it, it is painful to keep paying for leads. And right now, there are a lot of agents that are saying, I can't afford this anymore. I've seen that over and over again in this group and the other groups that I'm in, that agents are just fed up with it. They just want to know how to source their own leads. And in this course, I will teach you how to do that. I will also teach you how to network and connect with attorneys that have clients. And then you become the go-to agent for them. How about that? Who doesn't like that kind of scenario, right? Um, so a few things, and I'm looking at my notes because I don't put them straight up and down. It makes me dizzy. So why would somebody want to specialize in probate? Unfortunately, like I said, probate property happens no matter what's going on in our economy. And typically, the seller, which is a personal representative, or maybe where you live, an executor, has to sell the property for a variety of reasons. Maybe it's not something they want to hold on to. Maybe it's not someplace where they can live. Maybe it's a age restricted community. Maybe it's too expensive to hold on to the property, or maybe it's a court ordered sale, right? And I'll talk about this in my training, the different scenarios that can happen. I think it makes really good sense to focus on a segment of the market that most other agents are not. So, you know, being that leads are our, bread and butter, wouldn't it make sense to focus on leads that actually have to sell? Not maybe sell, not want to sell, but they actually have to sell. And that's the difference between working with probate, right? And maybe working expireds, FISBOs. Um, those are the two in particular that come to mind for me, which, by the way, I've never worked. I just, to me, making those calls, just, I don't like getting calls myself, so I'm not going to make those calls. In probate, though, um, they really need your help. And it's not just about the property, it's about the contents of the property. It's about having the home cleaned out. It's about coordinating moving pieces that either they cannot do themselves, don't know how to do, or maybe the attorney that you're working with wants you to assist that seller, personal representative, with. A lot of my PRs, as we call them, don't live here. So they're selling a property from afar. One of the things that you're coping with in this niche, and I suspect this is also a reason why it's a little more untapped, less competition, is you're really dealing with a personal situation that not everyone is comfortable with. And I went through it with both my parents, and it just is a good fit for me personally. And that's one thing you have to think about when you're choosing a niche, is like, what is a win-win for you? What is your comfort level? The competition is limited. It really is limited. And it's not, if they sell the property, it's typically like they have to sell the property. So you'll have consistency. And I think that is a number one issue that I see with agents. So many of you who have joined this group, I have some questions that I ask, right? And one of the things I ask is, what do you need help with? Or what are your concerns? And I would say 50% of that answer is, I need more leads. I need more business. I don't know where to find business. Here you go. This is a great funnel for your real estate business. That doesn't involve necessarily buyers. You may get some buyers from it, but you have control. And I heard this years ago, list to last, right? So that's what you want to do. And this is a great niche for you to do that in. The other thing is that it gave me back time, and my time was so valuable, especially having a daughter in high school and a daughter in college, but also getting some balance back, especially when I wasn't feeling good. I to this day, I love working with the buyers that I get on the occasion that I get them, but I still get it like almost like a cold sweat because it reminds me of when, like, so all those years ago when I was working with buyers and I was like, oh gosh, that's all I did. And I just, never got a break. Also, too, I find personally, and this is with whether it's a probate listing or not, that I just don't, it's not as time consuming. And so I like that element of it too. So I can manage a number of listings at one time as a solo agent. And yes, I am a solo agent. I don't have a team. Um, the other thing is that I really like the fact that you can certainly network online now. So there may not be events that you can go to, but we can network online. And there's ways to be able to do that in a proper manner. And so another reason I love this probate niche is because I find it um, to be um, a way that you can connect with people in that niche that you can work with and be a resource to, and you can still do it all online. So as before I was going to some different events monthly, and that's gone away, but nothing has stopped. So there you go. I really enjoy helping people with this niche, and the relationships that I've built with the attorneys, and I will teach you how to connect with attorneys, how to work with their staff. Remember, I was a pharmaceutical rep. I know how to deal with gatekeeper. Um, I will teach you how to move forward with connecting with these attorneys as well. Um, One of the things we always have to remember is that the personal representatives typically are dealing with a lot of grief and stress. Maybe they've never sold a house. Maybe the last time they sold a property or a condo was, 20 years ago. They're looking to you for guidance, and they, in most cases, what I found is they're very easy to work with. Um, they want to know that you know what you're doing. They want to know that you can handle all the moving pieces. And that's what's worked really well for me. Um, I have a system and a game plan that I work with that has really worked for me, like I said, since 2012, 2013. And I feel like it's a real win-win for agents. And when I talk about this, and I have agents talk to me about how tired they are and how stressed they are, and this deal fell through and that deal fell through. Well, here's the thing with probate, I very rarely had a deal fall through, honestly, which has been a good thing. And um, I think that's an important piece of this. It does happen, but in most cases, it doesn't. And the other thing is that the best kind of phone call that I get is from one of my attorneys who'll say, hey, Michelle, I've got a client for you. I know you can handle this. And that's the stuff that I'll teach you in this training on how to secure probate listings month after month. So you have some sustainable closings consistently, no matter what is going on. I'll also be teaching you how to source leads, how to find who's the attorney, who's the PR. Does the property have a mortgage on it? Is it already in play? Is it something that you want to go after? I'll teach you how to network with the attorneys, also the added services that you can do, which can turn into a side hustle for you legitimately, because many of them need to have estate sales and they need cleanouts. So think about that. How to market yourself. What are you going to say to a personal representative or an attorney when you talk to them? Are you going to mail them some letters? I have some letters that I use. Are you going to communicate through email? How are you going to potentially see the property? You can FaceTime them, right? Just like typical listings. But again, people are not traveling. They still need to sell the property. I'll also be teaching you my social media tips. And if you're watching and you follow me on any of the socials on Instagram, here on Facebook, that is something I'm very astute with. And I just, I love it. And I'm going to share some swipe files with you that you can use to help market yourself as well. I'm going to teach you how to get the business, get the referrals, and get those testimonials. If you go on my Zillow, in particular on my Zillow profile, and scroll through listings and testimonials, you will see that I have testimonials from past probate listing clients, along with some attorneys. And then the other component to this that I feel sometimes doesn't come up is how you can work with nonprofits personally and give back, whether that is with hospice. We have Trustbridge here, or if you're dealing with a situation that may involve Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. There's a lot of ways that you get involved with these nonprofits and give back, and also tie back into what maybe your clients are dealing with. Got so much information I'm going to give to you, a spreadsheet, the letters, the swipe files, the side hustle information. It's a 90-minute webinar. I'm going to show you how I find those leads and how I then connect with the personal representative and the attorney. So if you want to grow your business, I would love, love, love to have you take this training. If you're interested in learning how to list and sell probate, have sustainable closings month after month, I'm not going to guarantee anything because I can't do that. But if you follow the system and you're passionate about what you're doing, you will have consistency in your business, filling your listing pipeline up consistently. And so if you have any questions, I would be happy to talk to you. You can give me a call, you can send me a message, shoot me an email. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you would like to ask me, I am happy to do that. People to this group. Yeah. And I'm happy to talk to you about anything you want to know about what I've learned in the last, I guess, 8 years. Yeah, 8 years about listing and selling probate properties. And I've enjoyed it very much, mainly because I really do enjoy helping these families and people. And it's satisfying, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm very passionate about it. All right, feel free to reach out to me, carrier pigeon, DM on Instagram, email me at sipsocialcell.com.